Right, good evening everybody and welcome to fellow town councillors. Also this evening welcome to Borough Councillor, Councillor Cockrell. We have police representative Sergeant Chris Coslin with us tonight, and also we have a guest, it's Mr Andy Galbraith from the Filey Academy. Also a very warm welcome to members of the public, and for those that you don't know, to my right is Mrs Gina Robinson, who's the town clerk, ably assisted by her deputy, Maureen Prentice. I hope that you've all read the emergency evacuation procedure, which should be on every seat. In the unlikely event that the alarm may go off, if you please make your way down the fire escape, round the corner, and the meeting point is on the corner of Queen Street and Reynolds Street. And also the Town Council will be recording the meeting this evening, and this should be displayed on the Town Council's website within the next 2 days. Is there anybody else who wishes to record or film the meeting this evening? No? As usual, the county has a duty to protect members of the public who may not wish to be filmed or recorded. And as usual, if you'll all please turn your mobiles either off or silent. Thank you. And I now declare the meeting open. Agenda item 1, notice of meeting. Thank you. 2, apologies, Gina. Please.
County Councillor Sam Cross, holiday. Borough Councillor Colin Paddington, family commitment. So the House Centre report, Chairman, that will be discussed in agenda item 15A. And Miss Natalie Wilson wants work commitment.
Thank you. Do we all accept those reasons for it? Yeah, thank you. Agenda item 3, declarations of interest. Members are reminded of the need to consider whether they have a disclosable pecuniary interest or personal interest as detailed in Appendix A and Appendix B of the Town Council's Code of Conduct. To declare in any of the items on this agenda, if so, the nature of the interest must be declared at the start of the meeting, and in addition the attached form must be completed and passed to the clerk. Are there any declarations of interest from members in items on this agenda?
Sorry, my usual personal.
If at any time throughout the meeting, if you feel that there is a need to declare an interest, please do so. Agenda item 4, North Yorkshire Police. A, to receive police reports and ask questions from Sergeant Chris Coslin, North Yorkshire Police. Good evening, Chris.
Good evening. Right, this is the first edition of the new report. What you view of it, this is because Trish is retired now from the front office, and Trish used to do your report. We've now gone on to part-time opening. The hours are now 12:30. So I've had to give this to the ward managers to do now. So Nigel George does yours, and the other ward managers do each of their areas. There are a few changes. We'll see where we go with it. Get feedback from yourself if it's what you want. Your figures, I'm not sure whether I like the figures, I'll be honest with you, how we've done them to start with. And we're looking at it for last April and the April before. Until this one, we did it year on year, if you remember. It's up to you, is it? I can have that change to whichever you want. If you want it year on year, and I can probably do the previous month, so you would still get the April, but I wouldn't be able to do the 2 Aprils before. And we're now working on 3 and 5 year projections of figures now. We are down against last year's, which is the main thing, and I don't think there's anything that stands out. We're at the beginning of the year, so the figures are going to be low. Your crime breakdown, what Nigel's trying to do with this is doing it on the same setup as Trish was doing as I said, a Janet and John story. Something nice and simple, what we can all understand, and which, if nobody comes, it can still be given out, and you can read it, and it should make sense to you then. Tesco shoplifter, community resolution, I think we all know what they are by now. The drugs somebody stopped in West Avenue, we can do different things if we find somebody with cannabis. We can give them a caution on the street. They get a one-off chance of that and no more. This one, because it's a female that we were wanting to engage with and got 1 or 2 issues, we didn't do any of them. She's got no previous convictions for anything. We actually got her some counselling for the drug use, and she's actually going to counselling sessions. It's a disposal for us, and to me that's positive. It's working with her to try and stop it for the future. I think what John always likes to listen from Mr. Casey is antisocial behaviour, and what I've asked him to do is something what you've asked me in the past, is break it down into what we have. So 12 reports on antisocial behaviour, but there was only 4 of them involving youth in the town. We did have some issues at the middle of last month with alcohol and with kids. We found out that there were kids which were coming in from Scarborough to meet some of our locals and bringing booze with them, because I had a concern that some of our shops had started selling. They hadn't. We've then gone to the next page, which is we try to put some good news stories in for you rather than just the crime. We've now, I think you've probably all heard of the ring round system we have, where any crime gets rung round to telephones and computers. They've changed it now, and it's now gone to community messaging. My staff start their training tomorrow, and it's a bit like with Facebook stuff. I want all my staff to be able to do it. So if they've got something going on while they're working, they can put it on this, and it gets rung out to people who are registered. So keep this the bit of paper. It tells you how to register, and please do register and get updates. I'm thinking on you again, Mr. Casey. How's the Facebook going? I know we're getting more on it. Is it getting better now?
Well, it couldn't have got much worse, could it, from when it first was set up?
No.
It is getting better.
Yeah.
We can actually post things on there.
Yeah.
And I posted the criminal damage to the silhouette.
Yeah.
And in 3 minutes I've got a response, and I'm 3/4 of the way to the least when I did that. So, so it is better now. It's working process.
Well, that's it. It's only been going a month now, and the first week or two, with nobody trained to use it, because it's not easy for us, because we've got to go through all sorts of protocols to be able to get them to do it. They've not authorised me yet, and mine's been waiting for a month, and it goes to our complaints department before they'll let us touch it. And on the last page it's got who we've got, who's working for me now, with the contact number so you can get hold of them directly. Spoke to Tony Bates before I came out, and what he was saying is this good weather, the mugger has been really well used, and the kids have been listening to us and going down there. He said last night there was between 20 and 30 down in the mugger playing football. Great, that's what we want. The opening hours. We've got the opening hours from 9 till 12:30. There was a question asked last month, and I couldn't answer it. Was what would happen for sickness and leave? Would we get cover? And to start with, we weren't going to. We were going to be closed. So if the girl that works there now went on holiday, we'd be closed. They've now changed that, and they're going to bring somebody in. So at least we're going to have 5 days a week opening, rather than being closed for 5 weeks when she's on holiday. Last night, there was, maybe you've seen all the police around the railway station, 4 arrests up there, well 3 arrests and 1 to come in yet. They weren't our kids. It was a train incident where the train got held at Filey and 4 drunks on the train, and we had to deal with them. So it wasn't ours if people think it was ours. And there was damage to a car that was caused by them on the train going from to Scarborough. And like normal thing, what I want to know is, you're the ideas.
Have we any questions for Stephen? Councillor Meek and then Councillor Shaw, please.
I don't think you'll be aware, Chris. The new flower shop that's opened on Lewis Street. They get a delivery. I think it's once a week. A big arty, Netherlands, DNS Flowers. And he parks opposite John and Ginty's fish and chip shop.
At the top.
On the one-way bit.
Yeah.
But it's facing the wrong way. So,
That's
I do not know how he gets there.
I've seen him do it. He comes down and reverses into West Avenue, which and then he drives back up the road.
So it's the delivery for the new shop.
Yeah.
But can I just say, I've been in today to see the lady who owns the shop. She wasn't aware of it being the wrong way round, but she's ringing the firm.
That's fine.
And if she hasn't got hold of them by the next delivery, because she does it online by delivery, she will actually tell him so that he doesn't get fined and everything. Because we spoke about it this morning.
Thank you
and I've
for
been
that.
in anyway.
That's good. That's good. But we'll keep an eye on that as well.
Yeah, DNS Flowers it is. Big artist.
DNS.
DNS. It's from Netherlands.
All right.
Thank you, Councillor Shaw, please.
I've had a complaint from a resident at Down Clarence Drive. I think we've discussed this before. It's still saying it's really bad, the congestion around the school, picking up and dropping off times. And he said if any emergency services had to get through, they would have great difficulty. Also, parents are driving down to collect the children or pick them up with one hand on the wheel and one hand with a mobile phone to the ear. Not everything.
No, they're not. What we do is, I can answer you that one straight away. We do sessions every so often, at least twice every term with the Scarborough enforcement officers for parking, because we know we can't deal with parking. It's not our job. We can't give tickets like we used to. So we have to go out dealing with the mobile phones and the no seat belts, and we do capture them quite a lot. We do all the schools around town.
Right.
So that is, we do that. And with regards to emergency vehicles, ambulances have never complained yet, and they would do, because we do a lot of work with it, as you would imagine. So that bit. But I do take it on board that parents are using mobile phones, and that we have prosecuted some. And it's £100 fine now straight away for them, and they don't wear seat belts. And what's even more concerning is that the children aren't wearing seat belts. So, thank you.
Councillor Wood.
Yeah, I think I brought this up before even the school term started, just to sort of preempt it.
Yeah.
If you're monitoring and you can't deal with it, sometimes the police presence at school time has worked in the past. So
we still do. I do. At least I do at least 2 sessions a month with the enforcement officers from the Borough Council. What they come through, and they'll do one or both of the schools, and I'll make sure we're getting up there a little bit more, but it's still getting them there. You know, the last time we went up, we had a complaint from parents that were there, making it hard to get the children. Well, our argument is we try and make it safe for you to collect your children.
I think we've asked those at White Post around that corner, I think Sam's dealing with those.
Right.
But what they're doing is they're just parking over on the grass near the cemetery.
Cemetery.
Ramping straight up on it.
Yeah.
And it, obviously when it's wet, briefly to speak.
Yeah.
Clarence Drive itself is terrible. Just the way that the parking is allowed to be, and Grange Avenue.
Yeah.
It just means
it's chaos.
Councillor Wright, Councillor.
Yeah, just to compliment the 101 actually. Our 101 got an instant reply. It was about the silhouette cat that had to go to the vet to be seen to. Good joke. It's all repaired now and it's coming back. I think it was these gangs that was round the station. And then Caroline ran with that straight away. So very good service, thank you very much.
That's what we're
So
trying to
did
do.
the cat come back with bits missing then?
No, well, stick at the back of it, put this in, but the front was perfect.
It's been neutered.
Don't be guilty, we're not covering the house anymore.
Councillor Hackby, please.
Just a couple of things, Chris. One was a local trader that seems to regularly drive around town in a pickup truck full of dogs with one sat on his lap firmly with the window open and music blaring out. I mean, I've seen it.
Is it a fisherman? A fisherman?
Well, but it's quite regular now, Chris.
Right.
It's not just the odd one. But I regard it as quite dangerous.
Yeah.
But the other thing is moped.
Yeah.
There seem to be 3 kids now that seem to hang around in a gang.
Yeah.
follow each other around the town like lunatics. The last time I saw them was 8:30 this morning, pulling into Frankie D's car park. Now, I don't know whether the school children or not, because they've all the helmets and parkers and God knows what on, but there are certainly 3 that seem to hang around in a gang. And to be fair, I wouldn't say they're lunatics, they're verging on being dangerous at times.
We'll be actually, I'll be coming to see you at school anyway, because we've got an offer of somebody, one of our traffic officers, to come up, unless it's already been up.
No, it's still due to come. It's Mark.
Mark Hutchins.
Yeah. He was meant to come, but he was called to court on a case.
Yeah. We have one of our traffic officers, which is coming to do some work.
There might not be school kids, I don't know, I'm not...
They are. If you can get me the registration plate, if you know that. I was down at the shops last week, because I go and regularly walk down from school in the morning to make sure that students are passing up to school in a pleasant manner and not causing any kind of disturbance. And we have recently allowed 3 students to come, so we would know, 2 students, so we would know who they are instantly, particularly with the number plate, because they have to meet certain requirements for them to be allowed to come to school, so we can speak to them about them.
Because they're with it, I just...
Yeah.
They're relatively new bikes, I think one would...
I have an idea of the actors. I saw them filling up with fuel the other afternoon when I left work. But say Mark's coming to give some safe stuff, and the talk, what he does is very hard. It's straight in, and it will shock.
Are there any other councillors wishing to ask? Are there any members of the public who wish to ask Sergeant Gosling anything? Right, thank you for that, Sergeant Gosling.
You want the other bit now, don't you?
Yes.
Yeah. It's not that easy.
Please to receive any verbal update from police representatives.
Right. Where are we now? Tony, the junior is sorted now. We've got all what we need from the school there, from the children between, coming up to 10 and 11. At the academy, Tony's still doing work with the academy. How we fare with that is, we know what they want now, not a wish list, and we were worried that when we went that it'd be a wish list or a fantasy list, and it's been quite the opposite. It's been really refreshing. They're asking for something on the lines of Hummingbird, which isn't an all singing, all dancing park. And the new designs, what they were looking at on the internet, great big bowls where you can skate up and down and all the way around it. They're not interested in stuff like that. Tony gave them, a bit like an homework club for Tony. He's actually given them research to do, and they've gone out and done the research and come back to him, and they've looked at different designs and companies. Tony's now got those companies, and he's going to the companies himself now, Tony, because we're stuck really until we know costings now, where we are. So Tony's actually moving that forward. Him and Vicky are going forward with that to get some ballpark figures. Get a basic design and a ballpark figure so we know where we're going to end up. That can be changed as we go along. He's not stopping working with them. He's doing a day down at a session at the Bridlington skate park as well with Janet. Going down, have a look at that skate park. We want to keep the momentum going with them. So that's where we are with that. I'm aiming for the end of this month, early June, to have the next meeting and to have all the reports ready to come to the meeting and actually say, this is where we are, this is where we want to go. The teenagers, again, they wanted to keep involved. It's good for us, I think, for applying for any funding, because they wanted all part of the community involved, and the main part of the community is the kids themselves. They're also saying, well, we want to be involved with raising some money, and they've been talking about backpacking. Tesco's are going to come and speak to people at Tesco. Didn't listening. I'm talking to you.
Oh,
Well, no one's talking about Tesco, saying the kids are...
That's why I switched off.
No, so at least they're not just leaving it all to older generations. They want to be involved right the way through, and I think that's really good for us, is that? Any questions about London? I'll come back to you then.
Just to try and keep the momentum going, Chris, have you approached anybody at the Borough Council?
No, because we...
There's, alright, the estates, but there's also planning, because when you're applying for any funding, we want to know that you've got planning permission.
Yeah, right. So that will add it
as soon as you can.
Well, that will need to go through the committee we've got.
Yeah.
So at next meeting we can actually arrange that and we can go through that. Yeah.
Thank you. Right. Thanks, Chris. Again, item 5, Ebo Academy, Filey, to receive verbal progress report from Mr. Andy Galbraith, who is the head teacher.
Thank you. Good evening, everybody. I'm more nervous that Chris Goslin's decided to stay as he normally goes, but he's... Obviously, better speak than me, that's what it is. Good evening. I'm the new head teacher at Ebo Academy, Filey. My update is that obviously new staff, myself and the new staff have been in place now 8 months, and the school is a far more settled environment, and behaviour is now good around the school, and there's a very positive climate for learning, which is always good to have in school. We've had lots of positive feedback from community groups, including local residents, Filey Lions, the Rotary Club, many of which we're starting to create really positive links again with. I believe that the school did have many links with the community, but they broke down over time, and it's really important that we build those up because we want to be the school of choice for the community, and I think that's really important. I've introduced a number of new expectations and clear routines to develop a really positive climate for learning, which both staff and students have responded really well to, which is very good to see, particularly the Year 11s. And I think they've had the biggest change because 4 years prior they weren't used to these new routines and so on. So it has actually been a big change for them, but they've responded really, really well. I do think a lot of work and time has been spent on professional development of the staff to ensure that quality of teaching and learning is good or better, because as I said, the students in the community deserve this, and I really believe now we go in and monitor learning every day, and I can tell you that the learning experiences have got better and better throughout the year for the students, and we're continually reviewing how that goes to ensure that the quality of education is good. Also, I believe staff need to be recognised for all of the hard work that they've put into this year, both filling in gaps with student knowledge from previous years and preparing the current Year 11 for the GCSEs in the summer. Current data suggests an increase in results and a much better increase in value added and the new Progress 8 scoring as well. Students have responded really well to the change, and we've re-established the student council, which I'll talk about more, but that's a lot of the work that Tony Bates is working, and Vicky and a number of other agencies that we've had throughout the year work with the students about how we can develop the community as well, and their links within that. And as we've just heard from Chris, there's been a really positive response about that, about the students wanting to feel part of their community and how they can make it better. As I said, that behaviour is now good. We've had 2 formal external assessments from North Yorkshire regarding this, and recent visits from East Riding and education representatives from North Yorkshire County Council support this. The intake for 2016 is up 20% on last year, which I believe is, again, due to the hard work and commitment from the staff and the increased support that we've got within the community. Talked earlier about the Student Council working in partnership. They're currently working in partnership with North Yorkshire Police in preparing the proposed new skate park, and also we've put together a group to look at parking near schools, which is quite poignant given the last information there. We've got a number of staff who are going to start to go out on patrol, particularly on Friday nights, to look at antisocial behaviour. If there's any of our students within the community, the first one of those is set up on the 20th of May. So our behaviour lead, Janet Coleman, will go out on the 20th of May, and then I will be going out on the next one after that. So we'll be giving up Friday night to actually go and work with our colleagues in the community to show the students that this is a very much a team approach, and we all talk to each other, which I think they know, but actually it's better when they see it on face value. A number of students, the other thing that we're looking at as well is an awareness session for legal highs, which we're believing there's a big rise more in the Scarborough area, but we're trying to look at how we can educate students regarding these and the effects. And also we're working with the road traffic police, which you just mentioned, Mark Hutchinson. It's like we wrote this together. A number of students are going to Mexico. They're going on the M10 project, so I just wanted to update you on that. The students have been supported by a lot of community groups, including Filey Lions, the Rotary Club, Filey Bay Today, a number of individuals who have also donated money to the students and supported them. We've had excellent support from Tesco as well, supporting coffee mornings and various things that the students have done, and we did an article in the last newsletter, which was also in the Scarborough News, regarding Tracy, who was the community champion, and we've now just recently met the new community champion. In fact, I think she's coming in on Friday this week at 2:30 to meet the student council. Very proud to say that Ebor Academy Filey won the town sports competition on Monday. Not that I'm competitive, but it was an outstanding day, fantastic weather. The students from year 7, 8 and 9 competed in both track and field events against Scorby, Graham, Pinder and St Augustine's, and the school were victorious, bringing our first trophy home, so we were very proud of that. Students will now go on to town versus country athletics meeting, which is on the 25th of May. So there'll be a further update on how they got on there. We've got students including Year 11, also attended the Filey Beacon for the Queen's birthday, the lighting of that. And we've recently been accepted onto an AQA Maths Mastery Programme for 2016-17. The aim of this is to empower and equip schools to deliver world-class mathematics teaching. One of our key focuses for developing maths. So it's cost £6,000 to be part of this project, but I think in developing world-class maths teaching, which is a core skill for every student, it's an essential, and we'll be using that money wisely. In terms of literacy, we've got two very competent members of staff who've been working with the academy, and I just want to announce that we've secured the services for certainly another year with Mrs Banks, who's the lead for English, and Mr Crisp, who's the deputy head, was at the school for 1 year as part of a secondment from an outstanding school in Manor, outstanding school in York called Manor. And what we've done is we've actually secured his services, so he's now going to be jointly responsible with the school, and myself as my deputy. He's now a permanent position. So both myself as head teacher and Mr Crisp as the deputy are both permanent members of staff at the school, securing long-term leadership for the school. So I just thought that would be useful to know. In terms of science, we've worked with our local college constables when we were looking. We have a rocket club, and they've successfully launched and retrieved 2 rockets this year. They will also be looking at a project later in towards June, where we're going to look at launching a rocket which will actually record some data on its way back down, including temperature, speed and so on, linking with the science and technology and engineering and mathematics program called STEM. We've got 12 Year 8 students attending an event at York University and encouraging them into STEM careers, which include engineering, mathematics, science, technology, and including robotics. Take place later in May. The Science Enrichment Club are going out on the 16th of June to take part in the Solar Boat Challenge, if anybody's heard of that. And they'll be competing against other schools in North Yorkshire and across the North East, having designed and made their own boats to run on solar power. So the school will be involved later in the year on the 30th of June in the Filey Festival. We have a music event at the school on the Thursday the 30th. There'll be a coffee morning and the school choir and pianist will be performing in school, and then in the evening we've invited local primary schools, our own school choir, the Hummonby Brass Band and Scarborough sixth form students, some past students, to perform on the evening, and there will be tickets available for that. Just an update on sports facilities. One of the things that we're looking at from an academy is to try and establish some sound sports facilities at the academy. We're blessed that we've got some fantastic fields which are really good throughout the year, but poor drainage on the top field means that a third of the actual facilities are out of commission for what have been possibly 6 months this year, given the poor weather between October right through to the end of April. So we're looking to invest in 3G facilities on the current tennis courts, and this is to provide better surfaces in order to play things like tennis, netball and hockey, including 5-a-side or what will be 7-a-side football as well. That's not to take away from another project which we're also working on at the minute, putting together a business plan for wider sports facilities in terms of a sports centre effectively. Okay, so I thought and the final one is that we've got some visitors from Singapore on the 23rd of June, and I wondered if a delegation from the council or maybe a representative, I've already approached one person tonight, would like to have lunch with them, which we're going to try and arrange a fish and chip lunch, which is a traditional lunch by the seaside. Some students from the student council and members of staff who are local to the community will show them around. I'm sure governors will also attend, and I wondered if some members of the local community wanted to be involved, and that's the 23rd of June. So if anybody's available for lunch, that would be really useful if we've got maybe 1 or 2 delegates who could attend. Thank you.
Right, thank you. Are there any questions for Mr. Galbraith? Councillor Mead and then Councillor Woodman, please.
In the winter, past winter, seeing the children very smart, I like the uniform, but they don't, when it's raining, they still don't seem to have anything else on. There's something, when I say that I mean a raincoat.
A raincoat, right, okay. Right.
Just where that put it.
Yeah.
So, is there anything in the school procedures where they can't wear an anorak or anything like that going to school?
Absolutely not. I mean, we do encourage students to wear a coat when they come to school. I think most students have taken a lot of students did take the emphasis that they've got a blazer, so they would just wear the blazer and the blazer come wet. But we have written a letter to parents to say what they're allowed to wear. But there's nothing in the rule stopping them from wearing a raincoat.
I can confirm that my granddaughter's there and will not put a big coat on to go to school, no matter what weather she was wearing.
Thank you.
Councillor Woodman, please.
I'm just pleased to say that the uptake's going up, because the checking out of our children from Norton and Moulton are causing great aggravation to me. So I'm very pleased to know that the numbers are going up for September.
Thank you.
Well done.
Councillor Cockrell, please.
Yeah, I think your date for that lunch is ideal, with it being a referendum. It would be a bit
Yes.
like to leave.
Yeah.
Very pleased to hear about the progress. I must pass on some complaints,
Okay.
though, from some of the residents in Midhoe Way and Ewan Close.
Meadow Way.
Midhoe.
Midhope Way.
It's the 2 cul-de-sacs that back onto the playing fields, and particularly up in that northeast corner of your playing fields. They get a lot of litter coming across and in the ditch, and also noise, and particularly language, and especially, I'm told, from the girls.
I'm surprised by how the students are getting there, because we haven't allowed, the students have only just been allowed back onto the field after.
I mean, this has been going on for some time.
Oh, right, okay.
But the last time, it was about a month ago, I was asked again about it.
Right.
So I'm merely passing it on.
Yeah. So students on Monday were allowed access back to the field, but they're only allowed to go to the back of the sport, well, towards in line with the sports hall. So they haven't actually been down in the bottom corner, certainly since October. So if there are some names of residents, I'm more than happy to send a member of staff. We'll have a conversation with them, and if we can identify the individuals, then they'll be around to apologise. Absolutely.
I'll let you know tomorrow.
Thank you. Cheers.
Any further questions? Are there any members of the public who wish to ask? Standing orders, please.
I'm sorry,
Hello.
Homley has a silver band,
Sorry,
not a brass band.
my apologies, it's a silver band.
Goes back to you.
Sorry,
No,
okay.
you've got a contract.
Yeah.
Just don't go on that.
I'm from Lancashire, so that's my excuse. So, sorry about that.
That reinstates standing orders, please. Right, Andy, thank you.
Okay, thank you very much. Thank you.
I'm good.
Thanks all.
Are you going for a pint now, Andy? Are you going for a pint now?
My phone was ringing.
Yeah.
Several things to go and do first. Yeah, Mike.
Right, agenda item 6, moving on. Public question time. To receive questions on items on this agenda from members of the public, as usual, 15 minutes is allocated for public question time. Are there any members of the public wishing to speak? Thank you. Just stand up and give your name for the record, please, sir.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Richard Claxton, and I'm a Filey resident, and I'm from the Frack Free Filey Action Group. That's not quite as easy to say as we thought it might be when we first wrote it on the back of the beer mat. My question is in relation to item 11 on your agenda. Unsurprisingly, your meeting with Cudrilla. Bearing in mind the number of corporate scandals we've had in recent years, when big businesses have been shown to lie and cheat and break the law, Volkswagen, for example, springs to mind. And bearing in mind we live in a world which is largely about industry self-regulating, with inspectorates more or less cut to the bone, I wonder to what extent councillors feel that they can trust a company such as Quadrilla to tell the whole truth all the time about the safety of their operation, especially bearing in mind respected NGOs and pressure groups such as Friends of the Earth and Greenpeace are saying that their practices and their operations are intrinsically and fundamentally unsafe. So what thoughts you had on that issue? Thank you.
Well, just to briefly answer one point, as a council we have to take everybody on face value that comes, you know, whether they come to speak or to listen. Whether we can trust them, I don't know. I don't know whether any other councillors have any comments on that. But it was just an informal briefing meeting that we had. It was just a fact-finding mission really on this council's behalf. Councillor Bosomuth, please. Councillor Casey? Yeah? Councillor Bosomuth, please.
It behoves us as a council to listen to both sides of every discussion that goes on. So all we're doing is gathering information from all parties concerned with whatever's going on. And then we have to form an opinion, whether it's personally or as a council. But in the interest of everybody, we've got to listen to all parties, and that's all we're doing.
I'm not sure if you're aware, but we did have a frat-free group. I think it was a month previous.
I'm aware that some people from Frack Free Rider and Frack Free Scarborough came along.
Yes.
Now that there is a Filey action group that's formed, now that there's an information evening taking place next week, I wonder whether it would be possible for the council to meet with a local action group that is looking after the interests of Filey residents who are concerned about fracking.
I'm sure that can be arranged. I'm sure that can be arranged. Councillor Casey, please.
I was just going to say exactly what Councillor Buzzell has said, really. I mean, we've had frack-free scouring right out there to give us their side of the issue, and it was only fair to let Quadrilla give their side. We've not made any firm decisions as a council yet, and we're more than happy, I would say, to listen to frack-free Filey's talk on it.
Thank you.
If it's possible for you to drop your details, contact details into the office, I'm sure something can be arranged.
Yeah,
We have some leaflets here that we'll leave behind for you.
Just leave them and we'll hand them out.
The information evening that you're having, it does clash with an important council meeting on that very same night. How long do you plan to be going on?
We envisage that the meeting, which starts at 7:30, it will start with a short film from a hydrology expert in East Yorkshire, which is possibly 10 minutes long. The presentation will take just over an hour. It's quite a long PowerPoint presentation, which does go into quite a bit of detail about all aspects of fracking. I've seen it myself in Pocklington. I've got the presentation myself on my computer, so it's interesting. It doesn't seem like an hour and 10 minutes, whatever, however long it takes. Then there's a question and answer session, and from experience of these events previously, that takes quite a while because people have got lots of questions.
Yeah.
So I would envisage possibly 2.5 hours altogether.
I was merely asking because we've got a finance meeting, I believe, on that evening that I'm going to. They tend to go on a bit more.
Not under my I'll just bring you in.
Yes, Councillor Chris is quite right, because it is all the year-end accounts that they are discussing, so any councillor, even if they're not on the finance committee, can come to that meeting. But are you...
We can't possibly reschedule or retime our meetings. Is it possible you could retime yours?
Not with it being finance.
Sorry, through the chair. Are you wanting some councillors to come to your meeting, or would you like to come and give a presentation to an informal meeting for the council?
Ideally both, because the presentation is not being run by Frack-Free Filey. We and other concerned local residents wanted an information even for local people who are concerned about the issue and don't feel they know enough about the issue. So this is an information evening. But I think ideally both. The information is of a very detailed nature, but I suppose as local people with Frack-Free Filey, we would want to give our take on what we've seen at that information evening as well.
Councillor Cockrell, please.
Yeah, to you, Chair. As you're aware, this is an important council meeting. But if you've got the presentation, would it be possible for you to forward it to us so that we can have a look at it, even those who can't go to the meeting?
By itself, as a PowerPoint, it won't make a huge amount of sense without the talk. We're looking into ways of filming it and putting it on YouTube.
Well, I think it would be a step in the right direction if we could have it.
Any further points from councillors?
I'm not on the finance, so I'll happily go either as a councillor or as an independent person. If you feel you'd like a council representative there, I'll happily go as that.
Members?
Yeah, we're hoping there might be a few representatives if they're not all going to the finance one.
I could go.
Right. Okay. Right. Thank you very much for that. Thank you. Any other members of the public who wish? Yes. Would you give your name for the record, please?
I'm Wilkie. In case you don't know. Kevin Wilkie. Both Kevin. I've had a meeting with Ian Wayne, who asked serious concerns about the youth club. I've put it on Facebook and it's a case of use it or lose it. They've got all sorts of facilities in the youth club, but they're very, very much underused. We could encourage people to use it very soon. Apparently, somebody related, not related to youth club, or works with the youth club people. What's it called? Whitford County are with the youth of the area is going around town to see if there are any posters up or if anything's happening. Means concerned that it's not meaning that people get close. Might be another building.
When the youth club was due to reopen, Kath, two ladies or two young women did come to council and give a talk about the youth club and about their aims and ambitions for it. They did say that they would come back and give us, keep us up to date, but as of yet we've not heard anything back from them.
They came to see me last week.
Came to see you?
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
Councillor Casey and Councillor Wilson.
Yeah, I mean, you mentioned notices. There's notices up in our council notice boards about the youth clubs. I mean, it's been shared with all the major voluntary groups and community groups in Filey on Facebook, certainly by myself and Tourism Association and yourself, Kath. So I mean, it is out there. Even Andy from the Ebor Academy knows about it. There's information up there. It's also been shared with the parents of Ebor Academy Facebook group, which has got about 750 parent members. So they're all aware of it, really. So the word is out there.
Yeah.
So it's encouraging the young people to use it, isn't it? It's only open one night, it's only open for 2 hours, it's not much, is it?
No, this is what a lot of people have said to me, it's just totally insufficient because if you can't do Friday, what's wrong with one of the other ones? But it's a case of who's going to man it. But if they don't put anybody in, then it's going to close and then they'll use it for something else, so people sell it.
And it's dependent on funding from the county, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Well, I'm sure that we all share your concerns, Kath. I'm just wondering, as a council, what we do, because as Councillor Casey said, all the information is out there.
It is, yeah.
And perhaps it's a bit apathy on our youth in the town.
A lot of them go to the secret, don't they? Yeah. They do their own thing.
Sorry, Chair. I think starting with Oswald is fully aware as well, and the officers are putting this message out there. I've seen and heard them talking to young people, mysteriously engaged in non-social activities and directed them to that. But the problem always has been, and when I was young, I was to be able to Scarborough Council, the people who use youth clubs are generally the good kids, and the ones who don't want to be controlled and not allowed to smoke on the premises or allowed to drink, don't want to use youth clubs. So this is a special situation. Yeah.
You're right.
2 hours on a Friday night.
Councillor Wilson, please.
Well, there's been occasions it's been reported to us that when it has supposed to be open, it's not been open, and we've had kids there waiting on the street, and Sergeant Gosling had to go around and deal with kids waiting for the club to open, and it's not open when it's supposed to have been open. And that's the bugbear. If it's not consistently available, you're not going to get disheartened.
You're going to be like, they're just being like young, aren't they? Yeah. Okay.
Are there any other comments from members? Right, well, thank you for that, Kath.
You can't drag them there, can you?
No, you can't. Agenda item 7. To receive items from previous minutes which require further consideration. A. Minute number 010016. This is various SBC matters raised by the Town Council, and it's to receive response from Mr Nick Edwards, the SBC Director. I think you all have a copy. Regarding the issues in Filey Country Park, the block paving and other communications. Gina?
Yes, well, these two items have been on the outstanding list since January, and I have been pressing for a response. So these two have come in. We haven't had a response to the Town Council asking for the local parish council charter to be reviewed. And I am expecting that to next month's meeting. So,
when did we ask that, Gina?
again in January. Yeah.
Councillor Hunt.
I'd just like to say regarding the fence, I mean, that's a typical response from Nick Edwards. He's hardly likely to criticise his own officers because they're all one big band of brothers. As far as I'm aware, we've never had any meeting with Martin Pedley, which he says here is consulted widely. Martin Pedley never was consulted widely. And Paul Thompson came here once when we told him in no uncertain terms we didn't agree with it. So if that's Nick Edwards' idea of wide consultation, when he's had site meetings with the other interested party, then, you know, I would say it's very, very biased and very one-sided. As regards the fly tipping, since the fence went up, there's been half a kitchen and I think half a bedroom dumped over it. So how we can say fly tipping has reduced as a result of the fence, I don't know. As regards dog fouling, well, that's a very, very subjective matter. So I would suggest Nick Edwards is talking out of his backside. To be honest, I don't believe half of what he's saying there. It's not right.
Please be careful, Councillor.
No, I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
You are disrespecting.
We can all make comments like that without proving it. And he has absolutely no proof whatsoever.
Any further comments? Councillor Meek.
Block paving. I know your concern over the lack of final consultation. And then he goes on about timeline. So he knew about it. He just didn't do it. And give permission for it done. Why, he still could have come. So, yeah, I don't agree with that one neither.
I think all members are quite pleased with the finish, though. Or have I got that wrong? I think all members are pleased. Yeah? Yeah?
Well, it's going to make no difference if you do object to it, is it? You know, we're not going to be able to talk about it now.
Yeah. Any further comments? Thank you. B, minute number 216016. NYCC present replacement set to receive information from the clerk regarding trial panels for consideration thereon. Gina.
Some members went yesterday afternoon and some members, myself, went this morning to the council senior depot and to view two trial sets. Members have been issued with photographs of those tonight. Trial set number 1 and trial set number 2. We've also got, as promised, the colours of the mortar that's been, there's two companies that we use. I think it's actually said that the Ultrascape one, which is the first one, he would recommend the Flow Point product with the Filey dam who we met this morning. So what's members feel?
I think the majority of members visited Stephen Carr to look at these sets. I'll just go around the room and we'll get them opinion. I'll start with Councillor Woodland, please.
Well, it was nice to be there this morning and talk to somebody quite knowledgeable myself about what we wanted. It was quite up for this project, was Ganderman. And my opinion is that panel number 2 is the best fit for Crescent Hill.
Okay, thank you.
I think number 2 also, I think it's more authentic looking.
Definitely number 2.
Councillor Cockrell?
Yeah, thank you, Chair. Yeah, as I told them yesterday, I was bitterly disappointed with the stone.
Yeah.
The fact that it was newly dressed. When I think it was last July, when I did some work and found some sets, and there were adequate number. For them to now say they can't get the adequate number is pathetic.
That's what they informed us this morning.
Yeah, good. Having said that, I totally agree. The mixed size of sets, to me is more fitting for Crescent Hill. All I would say is, I can't, and I haven't been down to check, the number of, shall we say, wide sets there are in between a course of narrow sets. That could just do with checking, so we're getting something similar to what's I know it's difficult.
We went to the...
Yeah, right. But just to get a better feel.
It's all different markets,
Yeah,
you know.
yeah.
Every other
Yeah.
meter is
Yeah.
different.
It would have to be that way. Yeah. But certainly I would go for panel 2 style, but with as narrow a gap as possible. The guy Dan did say that he could get down to 5 millimetres, but he would prefer to leave it at 6. Now, I did follow yesterday's visit up with an email saying that the money that I got 3 or 4 years ago was only to do the lumpy bit of Crescent Hill.
Yeah.
And that there's the temporary tarmac repair further up.
Yeah, we've had a look at that.
Yeah, and to me it would be total false economy not to do that at the same time. I did send an email saying if they couldn't continue the replacement right up to that, even if they lifted the tarmac, lifted the sets that were underneath, reinforced the substructure, but they've come back, they've consulted, and they feel that even if the original sets are still in place, they will not survive being covered by tarmac.
What?
Can't we just turn them over?
Too easy.
So anyway, I am formally proposing that I formally ask them to do that work, as it would be total false economy not to do it.
Can we just pass these round? I think members might be able to read a little bit better.
We're all members in agreement with Councillor Cockrell, and we try and push for this tarmac bit, you know, that circle above, yeah?
Are we going to include the drainage bit across as well?
We can try. Got nothing to be lost.
Because that's a nice little bit.
Can we just go back to what Councillor Cockrell just proposed about the tarmac bits? Are all members in agreement that we push for those two?
Yeah.
That's so.
Is that agreement or?
Well, I think we ought to go around and make sure I'm saying
Go back to that.
Councillor Lee, please.
Well, I totally agree that it should be 2. Number 1 is more like someone building a house, so I go for number 2. Regarding the mortar, that's going to weather anyway, so it's number 2 for me, and then now we're again.
They did say that the mortar that was there today was still wet, so it looks darker than it's going to dry out at. Councillor Hall, please.
I prefer number 2.
That's third one.
Always one.
There's always one and that's it. And the Flow Point Natural Grey, I think. The top one.
Is that the one we recommended?
I don't know if
Any of
that's
these, no, they're all flow points. I think we would recommend this one rather than the second sheet.
Right,
But it's
okay.
up to members what colour you want to
Yeah,
use.
okay.
I'll just set the top one.
Thanks a good photo, isn't it? Like that.
That's my opinion anyway. It won't weather anyway by the time you get round.
Doesn't sound it,
No.
Councillor Wright. But we are democratic here, aren't we?
Yes.
Councillor Wilkie, please.
I didn't go, unfortunately I didn't go, but I would say number 2, just purely because it looks a bit more authentic, it's like flow point is fine. But as long as, like Mike said, the gaps are as narrow as they can be.
You sure? You finished there?
It's a 2
from me, with the gaps 6 or 5 if possible millimetres, and I agree with Marion about the mortar. There you go.
Councillor Brown.
Well, I was a bit like Mike when I first saw it. I thought, oh no, this is But as you looked more at them, you could see that, yeah, it would go. But I'm inclined, I would prefer number 2, and I think the quicker we get this done, the better before we withdraw the money, because I think now we're on that thin line that if we don't act fast now, I reckon we won't get it done.
Well, they did stress this morning that they would like us to reach a decision this evening.
So I think we've got to say, come on, get on with it.
Councillor Haxby, please.
Certainly 2. But I totally agree with Mike that temporary patch needs sorting out.
Yeah.
But if you look above it, there's a line across where the drain's gone across. But that also needs sorting out. And when we look today, yes, they're all a bit of a mismatch of stones. There's a band of even uniform thin ones, and then there's random, and then there's even ones again, and then there's random. So I honestly don't think it will make much difference. But I do like the random width, I think it does look nicer. But we were talking about that length of tarmac at the northern side of the hill. It was just a pity for another metre they couldn't get rid of that for us. And perhaps if there is a value in the sets that they take up, which are the old cobbles that we don't like, if they do have a monetary value, whether that could perhaps offset doing the tarmac. I don't know.
I've already said Jane wants some for the garden.
But certainly that big tarmac patch is absolutely abysmal. But I think it will look out of place if you just patch a patch. I think it needs to go right across as an effort. Don't fit in with all the other different bands. But yeah, we need to get it sorted.
We can certainly ask a question, can't we?
Exactly. Number 2, with narrower gaps in the sets.
As narrow as
possible, yeah. And that will fall in with the others. And the sets will actually fade in time. Okay, we know they're new, and they will look awkward for first 2 or 3 years, but will start fading, especially with rubber and that type of stuff going on to them, as you know. And the tarmac further up, yes, I reckon that should be done at the same time as well, if possible. Put it that way.
Right, okay. Councillor Cockle.
Yeah, I think when we're writing, that we need to stress that we were told that tarmac would be temporary.
Yeah, yes.
The other thing, I do have a concern about talking yesterday to Dan. We mentioned that because you're going downhill and also around the corner, some of the sets might need to be adjusted in width. And he wasn't really accepting that. He thought he could get away with it, and I just have concerns that in some areas that we may get wide gaps.
He did say to us this morning, Mike, that he has the men that can do the job.
That's what he said yesterday.
They will get round the corner.
Yeah.
Those are his words this morning.
Anybody can get round the corner, it's how they get round the
he said
corner.
he'd get round it in a good fashion.
He did say he preferred number 1, and he said...
Well, that was
I absolutely said no,
Oh, you were all over him, Oh, you were a big stick. That's one of the reasons.
And he did say that he could get round the bend easier than number 1 than he could with 2.
He did
count across and down and the millimetres. It all sounded very complicated.
That's going to sound lovely on the recording, he said.
Yeah.
The bend with
Let's go round the bend, yeah. With number 1. Never mind, I have lost. Never mind. Oh, no, I think about it, majority.
Right, so I take it from listening to you that the majority is in favour of number 2, is that correct?
Yes.
What colour? Flow point natural grey.
Yeah.
I think so.
Yeah. For the weather anyway.
Exactly.
No, I don't want
It's going to get dust and muck trapped in it, isn't
Well,
it?
when they're running narrow, I mean,
Yeah.
we scraped, Jeff scraped the old cobbles off today and it would just pull them up, won't it?
Yeah.
So is everybody in agreement?
So is everybody in agreement with floor point natural grey?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Right, now can I be clear on what else you're asking?
Right, so we're going to push for as much doing as possible then. We need to ask if the cobbles that we're taking up will offset the extra cost of doing all the time. Yeah? Is that what we're doing?
Yes.
Yeah?
Not forget to mention the gap.
Can I just be sure that you're asking for the basket there, and that's straight? Are you asking for all the, are you asking for all the time?
Well, it would be nice. It would be a wish list.
Yeah.
But we won't get it.
Now, what, are you wanting what you've agreed further down, are you wanting those to be put in there?
What's under that tarmac?
Sets.
What
Yeah.
tarmac put down for?
Because the sets were sinking.
Councillor Haxby.
If they do agree to reinstate that tarmac patch, because they're ordering the sets bespoke,
Yes.
they can actually probably order the width to match the gap across the road. So actually, the colour might be different, which unit is getting better, but at least the widths might be able to be matched, which would help.
I think what we could say, Chen, is that we would like that temporary patch redoing and the trench across, and that we will be happy to consider options from them that we find be suitable, rather than possibly make specific. It might just give us an overview.
Councillor Wilkie, please.
I'm sorry. Have the sets been taken out of there? So they're just covered up with concrete, with tarmac?
To level it off, yeah.
So basically they won't be able to be cleaned off, that's their issue, isn't it?
That's what we said to them upside down.
Yeah. Turn them upside down, all they want then is a jet wash.
But the band across looks like it's been completely taken out.
I don't know about that.
It's a shame they can't, I know it'd be too much work, but they can't take some from the bottom of what's there, put them in there, and then extend a bit that way. That would be the logical.
Too simple.
Right. I think Councillor Haxby mentioned the strip. Is this the strip you're referring to?
Yes.
Or what it is?
No, there's one across.
We'll never get that done all the way up there.
We are realistic.
I just want to be absolutely sure on this, that we get it right.
So is everybody happy with that decision then? Are you okay there, Gina?
Something to ask. Somebody did ask this morning, could they get in touch with Yorkshire Water to find out whether the drain underneath is okay?
Councillor Haxby.
It is. Sorry, there was a CCTV survey done by Yorkshire Water with Andy Naylor there in attendance 2 or 3 years ago.
No, Andy Naylor wasn't there at that point, but Ben was the,
And that's
I don't know what they're called.
That's what we were told.
Well, they're supposed to be getting in touch to ask, aren't they, to make sure, because we said we didn't want it put down, and then they'll come along and take them up to go look in the drain, or they collapse or whatever.
I believe that was a reason that it was held up in the first place. Till they looked at that drain.
That was lower down there, the manhole.
Councillor Meek, and then we'll move on, thank you. We've a lot to go through.
When we get the cobbles done, does that include having your lines put back down? Do you know what the lines can test for them?
What at the same time?
After they've done it.
I don't think it'd be safe.
We know them too well.
Do you want to build into this resolution that you would like the work doing in September?
Yes, commence.
Start off the fishing festival. Because he was talking about months, so it could be done between end of fishing festival and half term.
Any other matters on that? Any? No? Right, thank you, we'll move on. Are you alright, Dina? C, minute number 217016, sale of land at South Sea. To receive acknowledgement of complaint from Scarborough Council and to receive any subsequent response received before the 17th of May 2016, which is 20 working days.
No further information has been received today. The complaint has been acknowledged.
Any comments from members on that? No. We'll just have to see what we get to. Agenda item 8, to receive items from previous minutes which may not require further discussion. A, if any. Dina, thank you. 9, minutes to receive and if approved to sign the minutes of the following and to make resolutions where necessary on the recommendations therein. A, ordinary council meeting held on the 13th of April 2016. Remember to move the minutes, please. Are we all in favour of those minutes? Thank you. B, strategic planning committee meeting held on the 21st of April 2016. Recommendation on minute number 319016. Councillor Busman, please.
Thank you, Chair. I'd just like to say that the Lord is an accurate record of that meeting. And the recommendation made to full council is that the contents of the report be acknowledged with sufficient energy savings can be made to progress the project of looking at electronic communications for this council. Are we all in favour of that?
Are there any questions first? Councillor Wright's looking a bit...
No, I wrote that meeting, wasn't it? Yes, I was there. I just processed it, so...
Right.
Yeah, it's all right. Now, bearing in mind the amount of paper that we have to buy, sort it out before it speaks volumes, doesn't it?
Councillor Cocker, please.
Yeah, what's going to happen with the staff hours that are saved?
Well, that will have to be, hopefully, additional work can be accommodated for the town council.
In that case, it isn't a cost saving.
Well, it's a cost saving in...
Yeah, but it's not an overall cost saving.
Okay. Oh, well, all in favour of that recommendation? Thank you. Do you all accept the minutes?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you.
C, Finance and General Purposes Committee meeting held on the 27th of April 2016. Recommendations on minute numbers F330016, F334016 and F335016. Councillor Haxby, please.
Could I thank members for attending what was a very quick and efficient meeting? Minute number F330016. Resolved that a recommendation be made to full council that the above changes to the council's financial regulations as issued by NALC and highlighted in red be adopted forthwith, and the RFO be requested to make the above changes to the town council's financial regulations, with copies being circulated to all members. Can I move that minute, please?
Do you all accept that?
Yeah.
Thank you.
No. Councillor Cockrell, please.
Yeah, 1.6 and 6.4 to me is wrong, in that it gives doubt as to whether action will be taken if somebody's done something wrong. And I'm sorry, I think it will be taken. It says deliberate or willful breach of these regulations by any employee may give rise. I think that's totally wrong. Similarly, on 6.4 it says blah 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 should not under normal circumstances. Again, I totally disagree with it.
Okay. Thank you. I'll bring Gina back in on this. Or...
these have been suggestions by now. I think
I don't care who the suggested, I think you're totally right.
to come into 1.6, where it says by an employee is gross misconduct, it may not be. It might be a different level of misconduct. It depends what it is. You know, if there's a breach in the regulation. So until there's been disciplinary proceedings, you can't determine whether it's gross misconduct.
So that's the chicken and egg.
No, because
You're saying there have to be disciplinary procedures before it can be decided.
Well, yes.
So it's there, may give rise to disciplinary hearing. So which comes first?
Well,
I'm sorry.
you can't determine that it's gross misconduct until you know till there's been a disciplinary proceeding or a hearing.
Totally wrong.
Was there another point, Councillor?
Yeah, the 6.4, where it says under normal circumstances, action should be taken. A member who is a bank signatory having a connection by virtue of family business or business relationships with the beneficiary of a payment should not, under normal circumstances, be a signatory to the payment in question. I think that under normal circumstances it should be taken out. It should not be a signatory, full stop.
There may well be a case where they do have to sign, perhaps if the other signatories are away on holiday, Councillor Cockrell.
Tough
I think that would come in then, perhaps.
Sorry, totally disagree.
That's the intention of it, yeah.
Totally disagree.
Okay. Well, we'll go back to members accept the recommendation. Well, a clear show of hands, please.
Councillor Holden votes, yes.
I'm somewhat slightly confused, being that I'm not on this committee and I haven't read it before I came in, but just trying to keep up with the discussion that's going back and forth.
You have the facts in.
No, I'm saying I have read the
Oh, you have?
Oh yeah, most definitely.
Sorry,
But
I thought you said you haven't.
No, I
My
haven't.
apologies.
I'm just trying to take on board what Councillor Cockrell's saying and listening to Gina's reply back, just to try and make sense of it all a bit further to myself, because I hadn't picked up on that which Councillor Cockrell has just brought to the attention here, even though I read it, I also didn't read it well enough. So I'm happy to, I don't understand quite what's happening now. Are we having another look at this again as your group, or?
I think members are asked to accept the changes to the financial regulations on block.
Or not.
Or not. But they are advised by the National Association and Local Council Association.
Is there anything further to add?
No, thank you. Thank you, Gina.
Councillor Case, please.
Well, I tore a little bit. I'm happy with 1.6, but I do agree with Councillor Cockrell on 6.4.
Right, well, I'll ask again then. We'll have a vote again. Members accept the recommendation made by Finance. Clean show of hands, please.
Sorry, surely because there's been some doubt raised, we should do them individually.
Okay, we can do that, Councillor Cockrell.
And I would be proposing that 1.6 remove the word may and insert will.
Right. Do we have a seconder for that?
I'll second that, that's fine, yeah.
You've already voted for it.
Right.
No, but just on that word, I don't mind that word being changed. It's only one
I
word.
think if a member of staff breaches the financial regulations, they need to be given a hearing. You cannot just say that it's gross misconduct because it may not be.
No. It's to be proven.
It's to be proven.
But as soon as you start in the process, it's the disciplinary procedure.
But well, that's what it's saying. May give rise to disciplinary proceedings.
Well, can we have a vote on it?
And that would be for members to decide whether it was a disciplinary matter or not.
We're getting bogged down with it. Right. So we'll have a vote on this. Do all members accept 1.6 in the recommendation by Finance?
Sorry, there's an amendment. It's been seconded. You put the amendment first.
Did you make an amendment?
I made the amendment and Councillor Shaw.
I apologise. So we'll vote on the amendment. All in favour of Councillor Cockrell's amendment? Those against? So the original one carries. And what, do you want to take them all, Councillor Cockrell, or just the ones that...
What, 6.4?
6.4.
6.4, remove under normal circumstances.
Are you proposing that as an amendment, Councillor Cockrell? Do we have a second for that one? Councillor Hogan, that's the second. So all in favour of the amendment? Those against? The original one carries, thank you. Now the members are quite happy with the other aspect of that recommendation. All in favour, yes? Thank you. Continue, please.
Minute F334016, resolved that the recommendation be made to full council that the Pure Print Group be awarded the contract for artwork and printing of 30,000 copies of the Filey Town Map for 2017-2018 at a cost of £2,750 plus up to £600 for artwork. Can I carry that?
Do we all accept that recommendation? Thank you.
And minute F335016, that a recommendation be made to full council that the advertisement costs for the Filey Town Map 2017-18 be accepted.
Do we all accept that recommendation? Thank you.
Thank you very much.
All in favour? Thank you for that, Councillor Hatsby. D, proper committee meeting held on the 5th of May 2016. Recommendations on minute numbers 340016, 341016, 343016, 344016, 345016, and finally 347016. Councillor Walker, please.
Yes, does members accept these as a trump correct report?
We all in agreement?
Yes.
Right. Number, resolve that recommendation be made to full council, minute number 344016. That is recommendation be made.
With 340, Councillor.
34, sorry. Oh, okay, don't worry. There's not many of us.
It's best to know the ages, Councillor.
I know, I have to remember this wrong. Right. Do you mind?
Thank you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Green one, Richard, not a white.
No, I'll put it on.
No, it is.
Don't worry. Resolve that a recommendation be made to full council that members of the property committee are of the opinion that the trustees of Parish Wood, Filey Bird Observatory and Grove are complying with the terms of their lease as detailed above, and that is minute number 340/016.
Are there any questions on that? Councillor Hatsby?
I mean, I can't quite understand the recommendation, what we're asking to recommend. Because those that aren't on the committee haven't seen the lease. So are you recommending that we agree that...
The lease was emailed out.
Are we agreeing the lease or the recommendations of the committee? I can't quite...
I believe it was the full council at the last meeting that asked
The property committee to look at
the lease, Councillor Hatsby.
And we've looked at it and found that...
Yeah, but the recommendation says that members of the property committee are of the opinion. Is that what we're agreeing to? Or are we agreeing to the fact that the lease is being complied with? That's all I'm asking.
Comply with.
Well, it doesn't say that.
No, it is a bit vague, but that's what we're recommending, I think. Excuse me.
Are you all right with that, Councillor Hatsby? Is that reply?
If that is what, it's very badly worded.
Do we all accept that recommendation?
Yep.
Thank you.
Minute number 343/016 in the Everall Centre.
341, Councillor. Walker,
341.
016. It's
Let me go through that. Right,
It's the letter, Councillor Walker.
yes. I've got that, I've gone back to this. Right.
1016.
It's a letter. Oh, it recommended that the letter be taken later on to, to withdraw the press and public so it can be spoken about.
Do you all accept that recommendation, Councillor
Could I just ask a question? Was the letter from Mr Dunn a public document when it was looked at by the committee?
Yes.
So I find it a bit difficult to then say we're going to be discussing with press and public excluded when it's already been in the public domain.
It's a difficult decision.
Yes, it was.
To make that.
It is an agenda item later on.
It is.
Do you all accept that recommendation?
No, I don't know. It's difficult when you've already been discussing it in public.
Well, the recommendation is 341. That a recommendation be made to full council that the above letter be examined and heard by the full council on the 11th of May 2016 with the exclusion of press and public.
Yes.
That's the wording of the recommendation. That makes it any clearer for members.
On the agenda at the end of...
It is on the agenda.
It is on the
Do we accept that recommendation? It's been made. No. Those against? Those abstaining? Okay.
Three.
Is that against or
No,
abstaining?
abstaining. You say, look, abstaining, I'll put my hand up.
Councillor Walker, please.
Right.
Minute number 343016. Please.
Right, minute number 343016, that recommendation be made to full council that in the first instance an expression of interest be submitted to the Borough Council for an asset transfer for the whole of the Everon Centre building and car parks and the Filey TIC.
Councillor Cockrell, please.
I'll be declaring an interest in any bulletin, but I would just ask, is that in line with the advice or information that we've been given by Joe Ireland? Because I've never heard of this expression of interest for an asset transfer.
It's in the
Right,
procedure. That is the initial expression of interest, whether the borough says whether you can progress it further for a detailed business plan. But it will be dependent on whether, and we still haven't heard, whether the borough will permit the income from the Everon Centre to be those
Transferred.
that are already...
well, that'll have to go to the panel on which I do sit.
Do you all accept that recommendation? Please show of hands, please. Thank you.
Right, minute number 344016. Resolved that a recommendation be made to full council that no expression of interest be submitted to the Scarborough Borough Council for an asset transfer for the old conference hall at the present time.
Okay. Do you all accept that recommendation? Okay.
Minute number 345016. Resolved that a recommendation be made to full council that a request be made to the Borough Council to grant permission to install 9 or 10 additional commemorative seats on Church Ravine as detailed above.
say, I would just like to comment, it just sound rather a lot of that in Cresswell. For such a short walk.
What it involves really is changing the bench type seats which are on the way out for proper seats and maybe being able to sell them for commemorative.
I'm all in favour of seats, Councillor. I'm just giving my views because I wasn't at a meeting. But it just seemed rather a lot. It's not a really long walk up Church of Dean, and most of the people that go up there are only going up to the cars. I think perhaps one at the bottom, one halfway, and one at the top, in my opinion, would be sufficient, but it will depend on people wishing to purchase a seat to go up there. Councillor Cockrell and Councillor Haxby, please.
I'm nothing against the proposal. I do think from a practical point of view that the biggest problem will be the fact that they will have to dig back into the bank.
Exactly.
And with the slooping that's going on all the way down there, I honestly don't think it's practical. But I've got nothing against the proposal.
Well, I'm saying that another concern of mine was the pigeons. Because presumably they'll be covered in no time. Councillor
We can get white resin.
Councillor Hatchett, please.
I mean, I have to agree, but many moons ago this council did agree to have a policy of no more seats. Going back to Pam Nelson's day, it was resolved that we would have no more seats and only replace life with life, because the town was becoming inundated. And you're right, I've never ever seen many people sat on those chairs going to church remain, and I go up there daily. They're not ever very well used, I must admit. I know they're not very nice seats. But I mean, if you are replacing light for light, yes. Or if you're replacing a bench with a normal seat, yes. But to put an iron tent there, it's just, I think you're just making money for making money's sake. I don't think it's necessary.
It will depend on orders, Councillor.
You know, I just do not believe it's necessary. And we are becoming saturated with seats. Glen Gardens now, there's just been another half a dozen put in front of the cafe there. It's just, you know, wherever you go, there are seats and seats and seats. Very nice for the people who's the memorial too, but you know, you've got to draw a line somewhere. You just can't go flanking seats or...
Well, that will be the possible committee to look at, Councillor.
So that's my opinion, Mr. Chairman.
Councillor Walker.
Has it been accepted?
Oh, sorry, Councillor Shaw.
Can I just say that there are no seats down Murray Street now. There's 2 seats in the Memorial Gardens, but there's nowhere for anyone to sit along the town centre area.
Councillor Meek and then Councillor Casey to come back on that remark, I think.
Property Committee meeting on 29th of October. Regarding Council Cockrell. The ones that wanting to replace, show the picture up. And to me, they don't want putting back, they're just replacing the benches.
Well, we've already agreed on the recommendations. It's just observations after, that's all. Right. Councillor Casey, it was you.
I'm going to make a proposal to the next property committee on the issue that Councillor Shaw just brought up regarding this.
Sorry, can I just say in support of this, because Pat Danby, who's a very local lady, brought to my attention that when the little bus goes round, there's nowhere for anyone to sit unless you sit in the Memorial Gardens and then you go to the bus when it comes. Because before, when the old police station was there were seats. So I think that'd be a wonderful idea.
The property committee are aware of that, and they will look at
I'm sure they
also
are.
getting 2 more seats down there in the near future. Councillor Walker, please.
Right, the last one. Thank goodness. Minute number 347/016. Resolved that a recommendation be made to full council that this item be deferred to the next property committee meeting with ideas from all of members of the town council being submitted for consideration as previously requested, and this is on the old gas showroom land.
You all accept that recommendation? Please, thank you. Thank you, Councillor
Can we please have some ideas thrown in so we can think? Because we only got 2 ideas thrown to us at the last property meeting.
That all depends on
Yeah.
the council's bid was.
And we don't know who the state was. Planning Committee meeting held on the 9th of May 2016. Councillor Wilkie, please.
Thank you, Chair. Yes, just want to put these forward as a soon correct record for the meeting last night.
Yeah.
Okay. Councillor Casey?
No, no.
Oh, sorry. Do we all in agreement with those minutes? Thank you. Bandstand Management Committee meeting held on the 10th of May 2016. A recommendation on minute number 361016. I believe you just received this evening. Councillor Casey, please.
So I'll put this forward as a true record of the meeting. Is everybody in agreement with that?
Do you all agree? All in agreement? Thank you.
And minute number 361/016 is a recommendation being made to full council that Francis Decorators be awarded the contract to repaint the private bandstand roof as per the detailed quotation supplied, which cost of £1,162 plus that, bearing in mind we can claim that with funds being utilised from the bandstand reserve, which is quite healthy at the moment.
Do we all agree to that recommendation?
Chair, can I just ask one question?
Certainly.
What's the reason for one of the contractors saying it shouldn't be repainted? Is that the material it's made out of?
Well, the first contractor just decided he didn't want the job, and another contractor didn't think that it needed painting, and it should be left to age naturally.
Right, so it's just his personal.
It's just right, so he decided he didn't want to tender for the work. I haven't missed anything out there, either.
The first contractor couldn't meet with council specification.
I just wondered if there was some technical reason why it should be painted. Thank you.
Right, thank you, Councillor Casey. Thank you. Agenda item 10, report of working party meetings. To receive and accept reports of the following meetings and to receive any recommendations thereon. A. Filey Town Guiding Map meeting held on the 26th of April 2016. Councillor Casey, please, as Vice Chair.
We've got them in front of you. I'd like to propose that they're a true record of the meeting.
Are we all in agreement with those minutes?
It's resolved that a recommendation is made to the Finance and General Purposes Committee. Oh, we've done this, haven't we?
Yeah.
We've done this. So that's it. It's nothing else. It's already passed. Sorry.
Thank you. 11. Informal meeting to receive report from the informal meeting held with representatives of Quadrilla on the 12th of April 2016. It's self-explanatory. You have all the details in front of you. Are there any comments from members who were present at the meeting? Councillor Woodward, would you like to comment?
It was quite informative, I thought. Disappointed in the turnout, particularly after people to come. But it was a presentation of information which we can all go away and digest, which is what we need to be able to come to a conclusion of this issue.
I think it was interesting to hear another side of the story, the procedures. Councillor Casey.
Well, I couldn't attend this because of personal reasons, but having read through it, I mean, clearly Quadrilla are going to say what they want us to hear. And a lot of the answers they gave are in direct contradiction to things that Frack-Free Rydale and Scarborough have told us, and things that I've also researched on the web, so I would take it with a pinch of salt myself, my personal opinion.
Any other comments from members? Councillor Wood.
Yeah, sorry, I couldn't attend either. He was going on holiday. I think with this issue, which is so much technical type of information to take on board, you just have to try and take both sides, don't you, or as much information as you can, and try and and make the best informed decisions you can. But what I've seen is quite a technical, it's quite a lot, there's a lot of information to take in.
Yes, absolutely.
I think members that were present asked us many questions.
Yeah, yeah.
Can't get the
Yeah.
answers, haven't they?
Yeah.
So,
And of course, there's no licences being taken up yet in this area, or not in the area. And perhaps there never will be. Councillor Mead, please.
It's, the thing I don't agree with fracking is, like, why haven't they put the government is, why haven't they put the conditions on, the same conditions that apply to the National Coal Board? If anything happens down there, and it happens to your property which is up there, if you've got cracking in the walls, the MCB put it right. There's nothing as I recall that covers that for fracking.
Obviously, we're not aware of any conditions that's been implemented. Are there any further comments from members? No? Right, thank you. 12. Finance, to receive and approve the scheduled payments for the following accounts. General Fund A, 14th to the 30th of April 2016. You all had a copy in your pack? Are there any comments from members on those payments on 12A? No. Do you all accept them? Thank you. 12B, 1st of May to the 11th of May 2016. You've received a copy this evening, so I'll give you a few moments if you require them. Do we all accept those payments?
Yep.
Thank you.
Sorry.
Yes, sorry. Kathy, I didn't see you.
No, I think I can do it at the same time as you. It's just about the Filey tourism, the grant for £134. Is that like that we, like Tim Trade could put forward for money then? Is that what that is, the Filey Tourism Association?
Yes.
that's on it.
Oh, really?
Yeah. Oh, sorry, it's gone on to me. I'm sorry, I'm still...
That's a grant check.
To them, the Tourism Association?
Yeah, which was on behalf of Keep Filey Tidy.
So does Filey Tidy operate as tourism? They're not their own unit?
That grant was applied for as tourism as far as I know.
So does the money go to tourism or?
No, it goes to Keep Filey Tidy.
Okay.
As far as I'm aware, unless somebody knows different.
The Keep Valley
case,
Keep Valley Tidy working under the umbrella of the Filey Tourism because they don't have an account of their own. So there's an account within an account with the treasurer of the Filey Tourism who keeps the Keep Valley Tidy money separate and it's accounted for properly.
Thank you. Thank you.
We're on 12B now.
Yes, sorry, I'm sorry. I'm joining in with everybody else being moved tonight, aren't I?
Have you got to 12B or do you want a minute to go through?
No, I'm good, thank you. I just popped out at me.
We take 12C.
You all accept those payments? Thank you.
But we do.
Thank you. 13, reports from councillors on outside organisations. To receive and accept reports, Primrose Valley Blackcliff. This is to receive report from Council Holding Bank. I would just like to inform members that in addition to Council Holding Bank's report, there's also a very nice letter of thanks from a Blackcliff resident and a Blackcliff Association meeting report, which I think we've been circulated with this evening. Do members need time to read these? There is a report, Council Holding Bank, that was deferred from last month's meeting.
Yes, thank you. So there was an AGM on the 30th of April for the Flat Cliff, and the same officers were re-elected, as I've written here. One of the big discussions was to change the name to the Flat Cliff Resident Association. They've got 13,000 in the bank, and they do charge £100 per household. There's 36 houses in total, and 6 at the moment do not contribute, but they're having a discussion to try and find out who the 6 would like to contribute, because that money goes towards the road, or the upkeep of the road. They've been very active having conversations with Foreign Leisure. I'm not too sure who Royal Haskinen is, that was the name that was given. I don't know if anybody, you know them. With a very positive conversation, and they seem to be keen to keep discussing regarding a new road to go through Vaughan Leisure land itself. Drones have been used using the GPS to have a look at the cliff, the position of the cliff and what's happening with the cliff. And I know it's a little bit bullet points because I didn't want to go on for a long time. And Armistead gave information with the SSSI, and the concern is the monies are funded by the EU. So regarding what happens as to whether that funding will still be available, but obviously it wouldn't just stop overnight, it would be, but again, what would happen there? Again, the discussions continue in a positive manner, and the good thing was that Vaughan Leisure are happy to give all the residents free parking above on the top of the cliff if any work to the road goes ahead, road with a new road or with making good the road that's already there. The cost of the road will be part funded, they hope, by the residents, Vaughan Leisure, Yorkshire Water, North Yorkshire County Council, and advice was given that the Yorkshire Flood and Coastal Erosion Group are willing to contribute. There's been no monetary amounts suggested or anything yet, it's just all in a discussion form at present. And as I say, the association are remaining very active, positive, they're a really go-get group, they're happy to take on board any advice or guidance given regarding the road that they've got, to keep it shored up, but with future hope to get a new road eventually. So they're very happy.
Right, thank you, Councillor.
Okay, thank you.
Are there any questions? Councillor Casey and Councillor Coxwell,
Well,
please.
it's not a question because I'm not privy with all the into detail like Jackie and Councillor Cochran are obviously. Just an observation that since Primrose Valley got it's a councillor who's actually shown an interest, she seems to have built up a very good rapport with them and instigated a lot of the work now that agencies and councils are taking on, and she should be commended by this council.
Thank you.
Just through you, Jack, can I just ask Jackie, this Yorkshire Flood and Coastal Erosion Group, who are they?
They are Stuart, your man.
Right, I think it's the RFCC, the Regional Flood and Coast. I'm very surprised to hear that they're willing to contribute. You've got something that soon. I think that's
I think there's a discussion that they said that there would be, this is all a discussion, nobody's written anything down and signed anything off.
Yeah, it's the fact that you're willing to contribute there. I think is incorrect.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know, I mean, it's Councillor Fancy's report, I think.
Well, it was verbalised, nothing has actually been written down, but we're all still very much, but it's a positive verbal discussion.
Well, I think we all agree with Councillor Casey.
Thank you.
Councillor thanks and really well done.
Thank you very much.
B, Councillor Public Question Time, answer sessions. To receive feedback from Councillor Casey and Councillor Glanville from the session held on the 20th of April. Can I just go back to Councillor your other report that was deferred from last month, Councillor?
Oh, thankfully, I have spoken to the residents and I have spoken to 2 councillors, one Borough Council and Councillor, one Hunnaby Council, that have given me information and been helpful in discussing with me what my role and position is.
So are you quite happy and satisfied?
I'm a lot more educated.
Okay.
Thank you.
Any questions on that?
No, just on the letter from the residents, there are some errors there which need pointing out. The official policy relating to practice is non-intervention, what she's obviously got mixed up with is the shoreline management plan, which is non-intervention. It's nothing to do with anything else. And as regards the road, this is a massive change of attitude of all concerned. That was totally incorrect, because we were talking about going through the bay 3 years ago, no, 4 years ago. So it's not a change of attitude.
You want to come back on that, Councillor?
No, thank you.
I mean, that's purely down to the resident not understanding it.
Right, thank you, Councillor, on that once more. So B, Council Public Questions and Answer Sessions to receive feedback from Councillor Casey and Glanville from sessions held on the 20th of April 2016. Who wants to kick off?
Well, we were lucky enough to be selected to fly to the township by the council on that day, 2 1-hour sessions, which, to be fair, because they haven't really been advertised very well, they'd only been put in the notice board, weren't very well attended. We had 2 queries, one of whom stayed for 25 minutes, bending our ears, so it was quite, she certainly took up the first hour. But since then, it's been advertised. I think the next session should be better. It's all about getting the word out that these things are happening. It's out there now. All the organisations, children and everybody shared the information. The library itself have put information up in the library and put it on their website. So hopefully whoever's lucky enough to do the next session will be a lot busier than we were.
Thank you very much.
Councillor Glanville.
No, it was...
You just thank God you had these. Come on.
That's all right, this lady that chewed our ears off was just talking about she wanted to stop the amount of dogs that come to Filey.
Not dog food, dogs.
Not dog food, dogs.
No, it's the amount of dogs people walk.
Yeah, she's just thinking
Shouldn't be allowed to walk
they shouldn't
on
be
them.
allowed to walk them and they shouldn't be allowed to walk them on the front. Just like skateboards, but it shouldn't be dogs.
She was just moaning, she didn't want any action.
No, what was that? What was she you wrote it? She made another point, which was quite a valid one.
Have you got the report then?
Yeah, I haven't.
Can you read it?
I can't remember.
Never mind, anyway.
Oh, that was it, about, no, the gentleman that came on the evening said, he couldn't understand why we're not on, like, Facebook or Twitter.
Oh, that's the one, yeah.
That's the one, and I said, and this, he's saying, you know, you're wanting to entice younger people, then younger people are all into Twitter and Facebook, so why aren't you on it? And we just said, well, that was a good, we thought that was quite good. And
It is, I have taken that forward. It's on the next meeting of the strategic planning, so it is an agenda item, which I took forward from that day. I'm sorry, I forgot.
I know there was something important.
I know, it's a good job with you.
It was, wasn't it? Yeah.
Thank you, Councillor Glanville. We've seen it before.
We made a pack up for you, didn't we?
Yes.
And then there are
No, we don't have to.
I'm going to pack up in that there. You made it.
That's very good. No, it was really, that was...
some sheets, you sent it off, so then want to collect that.
Yeah, and the maps out and everything, that was brilliant.
She didn't want to say over a minute.
Well, I haven't had any lunch. Don't pack up the big muffin.
Have you finished now, Councillor Glanville? Thank you.
You're fault.
Moving on then, swiftly. C, Filey Allotment and Garden Association.
Yes.
Sorry, Councillor.
Just on the next subject, I have made it clear that I am unable to attend the afternoon session.
So you're on the road, sir?
Is
I'm on the deck.
who would like to sit with Councillor?
Nobody's come forward and volunteered.
Well, I'm out of town.
That's next Wednesday, isn't it?
I'll have a look in my diary soon.
I'm in the air, then.
The 18th.
The 18th. Right, I'll let you know tomorrow.
Yes, so.
Alright.
Okay, dear.
Is there a member who would like to do that session? It is a swap with Councillor Cockrell. He's not getting out of it by any means. It's a swap.
We're putting the next day on it.
What day is that?
Next Wednesday. It's in the afternoon, Councillor.
Between
Right, you're on holiday?
No, it's can't.
I'll look into it.
You want coffee that day?
No. Right, well, thank you for that. Right, C, Filey Allotment and Garden Association, to receive report from Councillor Anna Shaw. You've got the written report, have you anything to add, Councillor Shaw?
No, it's all down there.
Any questions for Councillor Shaw on the meeting?
Very short, succinct report, thank you.
Right, thank you for that, Councillor Shaw. D, Filey Chamber of Trade, to receive report from Councillor John Casey.
Self-explanatory there, very short report. I'm sure if there's something wrong in it, the chairman of the Chamber of Trade will hold me to task.
Okay. Any comments? Members? Well, thank you for that report, Councillor Casey. Thank you. E, Filey District Tourism Association, to receive report again from Councillor John Casey.
I see that was much more interesting than the Chamber of Trade in that report. It's a bit of a longer report, but basically the interesting thing about it was Scarborough Hospitality Association, which is a tourism association if you like, which is a massive organisation. I found out today that we've got £13,000 in their bank. Came along with Janet Deacon from Tourism, Scarborough Council Tourism, wanting to have a closer affiliation with Filey. And there was a bit of opposition initially, but I think everybody's come round to it. They've already committed a Scarborough Hospitality. Some of these going around, this Discover Scarborough and Filey 2016, and they've actually put a map of Filey Town in there, and some advertisers from Filey in that guide as well. So that's a positive step, because it helped allay some of the fears of the members that Filey was always down there and not where it should be. They even funded the Scarborough Hospitality Association a trip to Bempton, RSPB, for members to go on. So yeah, they're very keen to work with Filey, and it can only lead to positive things, I think. Yeah. Any questions?
No, just a comment. I did actually instigate that meeting. I did talk with Shirley in depth at a meeting I attended earlier on in the year. That was the reason Shirley attended the dinner.
And that's where
to introduce her.
Jeannie.
That's why she was down at the Earl Council case. Well, thank you for that report.
Thank you very much.
Are there any other members wishing to give a verbal report, briefly? No, thank you. 14, North Yorkshire County Council to note matters not previously reported or reported elsewhere in this agenda. To receive verbal and written reports from North Yorkshire County Councillors present for information. I believe we've all got Councillor Costa's report circulated amongst you this evening. There's also a report from NYCC Highways Walkabout. Councillor Casey, perhaps you'd like to...
Well, I can't talk about Sandy Brook, that's the first time I've seen it, but the walkabout certainly. This turned out, what we found out on the day, to be the final walkabout the county is going to do. Not just with Filey, but with any parish or town council. So I give you the final report of that walkabout. What they're going to do now is there's a reporting portal on North Yorkshire's website that you must put all your queries on there. They say to keep a proper audit trail of what goes on and what's done. That's, I'm not too sure of that. Anyway, there's the road report. I don't have any questions on that.
Councillor Meek, please.
As we all know, not all the residents in Filey have a computer. I know they can go to the library. They've got quite a few that really are housebound.
We did say, myself and Councillor Cross and Gina did say this to Paul Burkett, but he's merely an officer and asked me what he's told. He was told that it's the end of the road.
So, the question I'd like to know, if Sam can take it up, what are they going to do for these residents?
We'll have to take that up with Councillor Cross at the next meeting, Councillor Meek. Councillor Wilkie, please.
The footpath at Flower Garth,
Yeah.
I've been up there recently, so I know where it's just all filled with water, it's all subsided. So is that going all the way up?
Yeah, it's all the way up, yeah. It's on the right hand side.
Yeah.
That's all the way through the construction. Yeah, the orders in for that.
Right, okay.
Thank you. Councillor Holdenbank.
And what about the South Dean tennis courts with the work people on there not wearing or complying with the safety regulations? Are these the same people that did the police station that there was reports of them not wearing the correct?
That's right. Look,
Is this what you can't talk about?
This were two fellas basically just dressed in jeans,
Right.
no hard hats, no hard shoes, no IDs, no, they were knocking a wall down onto the pavement hadn't been sort of rerouted, there were no safety issues there for pedestrians, so Paul Burke was there, photographed it, and he was going to take that, pass that on to the relevant officer at County.
Councillor Mead.
Right, Ringways have started on the 4th of April doing Silverwood footpath. Just like Ringways, they started on the right hand side going to the top of Silverwood towards the top end of Wharfdale. But halfway up the gas board had been working and they'd done it all. So they started work to go towards them, which I couldn't understand. Why didn't they start on the other side so they get all that pavement done while they're still working on the gas? Then,
Is there a muting note? I think there is.
can you just hang on? Do
Do
I interrupt you when you're speaking?
Please do.
Sometimes you do, yeah.
Come on, councillors. Let's get on. There's a long way to go yet.
Yeah.
I don't wish to be...
When I come back to Baldy, which is 4 weeks later, the work has stopped. But they've done the base work, not the top work. I'm finalising it. And one of the residents told me that it was something to do with a newt. I'd like to ask Sam these questions before they to be asked.
We need to keep that till the next meeting, councillor Mead. Is there any more comments on the walkabout? Because we're going to go back to Sam Cross's. Are there any comments on Sam Cross's report? No? Saving questions till he's back. Yeah? Yeah, okay, thank you. Gina, I think you've got something on wheel.
Yes, just to update members on the weed spraying allocation from the County Council. We normally always receive that by the beginning of April, and I have queried that with them. They are looking into it. It seems that this has been a local agreement that was arranged by Area 3. So it has gone much higher up at County Council. But I have stressed the urgency that we need to get this sorted out as soon as possible because the weeds are growing up quite high. Normally it's been an allocation and then those funds are contracted to the Borough Council, whereas we get better service with having 2 weed sprays from them. So as soon as I can get it sorted out, I will do that. I'm dependent on an answer from the council.
Was it Andrew that said he'd get that answer for us?
Mr. Bradley.
Yeah. Thank you for that information, Gina. Right. B. Mitford Street, Filey, to receive sealed traffic regulation order which came into operation on the 18th of April 2016. You're all aware of this, it's self-explanatory. Are there any comments from members? I think we've all been asking for this one. Right, thank you, moving on then. C. Planned road closure, A165 from the A1039 Scarborough Road to Mustard Road roundabout for a period of 40 nights between the 16th of May 2016 and the 24th of June 2016. Again, it's for information. I think that Gina's got more information on that.
I just queried this because it's been a long time, 40 nights, and Mr. Sampson has come back to me and the planned work should actually take place over 4 to 6 nights, but they secure that gap so that they can fit it in whenever they can. So,
Councillor Mead.
Do we know what time it starts and what time it finishes?
No.
Well, not in this report, it just says evening closures, Councillor Meek. Yeah, I'm sure we can find out that information. But
That is a very good site, that roadworks.org, if members want to have a look at it. It does tell you what roadworks are going on in that area, and there's no signs on as well.
Right. Well, thank you for that further information, Gina. Agenda 15, Scarborough Borough Council. To note matters not previously reported or reported elsewhere in this agenda. A. To receive verbal and written reports from Borough Ward Councillors present for information. We have a written report from Councillor Colin Haddington. I'll just give you a moment to read that. Are there any comments on Colin's report? No? Right, thank you. Councillor Cockrell, please. We have a written report from Councillor Cockrell. It's in your pack, so you've already. Are there any questions on Mike's report? Have you an update? Oh, sorry, Councillor Meek, Mike, and then...
RNLI. What ideas are they extending forward, or do you know?
At the moment, they haven't made their mind up exactly what they want to do. They're considering a number of options.
Have you updates on any of these?
Queen Street Garden, the additional analysis of the water samples has shown that the water draining into Queen Street Garden is not sewage, it is just groundwater. Memorial Gardens, following a recommendation by Historic England, the Secretary of State for Culture, Media and Sport has decided that the Memorial Arch in Murray Street has been designated as a Grade 2 building of special architectural or historic interest. Common Landing, the seasonal attendant has started work and initial reports are encouraging. Martin's Ravine, the planned work on Martin's Ravine is almost complete. It is expected to be finished by the weekend. It has been found that additional work further upstream is necessary, and this is expected to take place in a few weeks' time and should take about a week. Similar closures of the access will be necessary. South Dean, work has started on the creation of the 3 new hard courts. The work is expected to be complete within 6 months, but this will largely depend on the weather at the time of laying the tarmac and marking up the courts, as a prolonged period of dry and warm weather is required for the process to be successfully completed. You've all got a leaflet about the P1s, and the Filey dash, weather permitting, on Saturday morning should be setting off from Scarborough about 10 o'clock.
Councillor Meek and Councillor Casey, please.
The tennis courts, it was said the other day that the firm that was doing it, specialist firm, have gone bust.
That is, I'm told that is correct. They've gone into administration and another company is taking its place, and there will be no delay.
That was my point that I told you the other day.
It's still in your comments,
Yeah.
6 months, Mike, seems an extraordinary length of time to lay tarmac.
Well, it's more.
I know it's more than that.
Yeah,
It's 6 months. It seems an extraordinary long
time.
That's
I've pressed Thompson's for a proper time scale, and at the moment they wouldn't like to say anything less than the 6 months. I think, in actual fact, they need to have it all done by mid-September, otherwise there would be problems with the marking out to be done efficiently and properly.
Okay, Councillor Wilkie, please.
Just on that point. If they're talking about 6 months and then they say they need a prolonged warm and dry weather, well, that's not going to be.
Well,
It lasts about 6 months,
yeah,
it's not going to get
yeah.
higher, so
It depends.
in reality,
It depends how quickly they get on.
Yeah,
But
in
at the moment,
reality.
all we're saying is,
in reality, it's not going to be that long.
The company involved, Mike, is it a company that's been appointed by SPC or appointed by Thompson?
no, and they haven't actually appointed them. They were the preferred bidder. They had not actually been engaged, which is quite lucky, I'm told, because if they'd been engaged, it would have held things up, because they wouldn't have been, Thompson wouldn't have been able to then go to an alternative company.
So it's Thompson that's engaging the contractors to do the
Nothing at all to do with the Borough Council.
Right, okay.
Isn't that company that's doing that approved by the LTA?
Yes. They are, I'm told both companies, the one that's gone into administration and the replacement one, are both specialist companies approved by LTA.
Any further questions? Councillor Cockrell? Well, thank you for those reports, Councillor Cockrell.
Are you there on Friday?
Yes.
Right.
You just give me the details, Mike.
You didn't come back to me, that was all.
I forgot, and then I flew out into
Right, 11:30.
11:30. I'll give you a bell anyway, Mike. Thank you. Thank you for those reports. B, we've got an additional item. This is for information only. Gina?
Yes, it's just the media release from the Borough Council about customers being encouraged to do more online. The council brings in changes to customer first service and filing. You will note the days and times that the customer first service is open at Filey Library, which will be 10 AM to 5 PM on Mondays and Wednesdays, isn't it? We have experienced an increase in people coming round asking tourism-related questions seriously, particularly for orange bags, which tradeaways they have to obtain from Scarborough and pay for online and pay a delivery charge for tradeaways bags. There's no outlet in Finland for local traders to pick them up.
It might be worthwhile having a look. Contacting Paul Thompson and see. Right. I didn't know if we could come to some arrangement.
I just have a question, Mark, perhaps you can answer this. The open air theatre tickets, was it arranged with the travel agent to sell those?
I believe so.
Or have it inquired to deal with?
Yeah, as far as I'm aware, that's the understanding. Now, alright, obviously we know that the TIC is going to be marketed. When any tenders come in, whether there's any scope there for anybody who takes it on to do it, I don't know. That's all going to take a few months to sort out. As far as I'm aware, the travel agent is doing that. On that point, I'm led to believe that until it has been tendered and we've got a new tenant, that the alterations, or the major alterations, which is blanking that wall off, will not take place. Because it may be that a new tenant wouldn't want the wall, they'd want the whole area. I don't know. So we're remaining flexible.
So where would that leave the cafe then? The kitchen?
Well, that would all have to be taken into consideration. It's all fluid.
It's amazing that the goalposts change every time.
No, they aren't.
No, they are, Mike. Initially we were told that the bit up to the screen would be, developed or passed out to a shop or whatever, and the other area would be kept separate.
That was the plan. But it would be silly to waste money doing a load of alterations if somebody came in and wanted to take the whole lot and operate the TIC. You just have to knock everything down. So it would be a total waste of money, and that's why we're remaining flexible.
Well, I hope we're flexible enough to make whoever comes in pay for the redevelopment of the kitchen area and such like.
Depends if it's necessary.
Well, it is to community groups that have events in the concert hall.
You don't know. We don't know at the moment.
No. Sorry?
Booked for 2 years.
Kath?
I'm going to have a try.
Do you want me to
If
look
I
at it?
go down backwards, we're all right.
You sure?
Yeah. I really
Councillor Evans, yes, I've got you, I was just watching.
No, yes, I know. I'm just waiting to hear the bump.
I'll wait.
Yeah. It's Mike actually. Is there any special requirements when anybody wishes to lease that? Could it be a cafe or could it be a hairdresser or could it be a pub? Have they got any guidelines?
At the moment, it's open for people to, express an interest and put tenders in.
And is there a starting off price that you can go in at?
It's up to the individual.
It's up to the individual.
I mean, we all know
So there's 24, 25.
we all know what's being suggested.
Okay.
I'll just bring Gina in.
Yeah, I'm quite concerned about Councillor Cochran, because at all the meetings that we had in South Sweden, we were completely assured that the community centre and the access to the concert hall, that is very important facility for all the community groups in this town, would be saved and be safe and not be part of this proposal to let off the TIC.
Depends what the end use is, and that guarantee still stands.
Yeah.
But the borough's not going to waste money doing something and then have to take it down.
No, I can agree with you on the wall business, but it's the first time that you mentioned that, it could be the community, the other end,
Councillor Wilkie, please.
I'm sorry, but I completely disagree with that. If you put a wall up, you rent that space. That space is then defined. It doesn't matter what they want. That's the space that's defined, and that's what they're renting. So I totally disagree with where you're coming from there, Mikey.
No.
If the council put a wall up...
You run the risk of cutting your nose off to spite your face.
No, what's happening is they're cutting this council's nose off because that space is always been said it will be saved and is needed. So in that
and that has not changed.
No, but it can change.
Well, it can change.
No, the use of it's not going to change of that end. It'll still be the entrance into the concert hall.
That's not what you said. The residents that comes in might want to take that space.
Yes. But if they do want to take that space, they will have to still provide that facility.
Well, that's not what you said in the first.
I didn't say it completely.
I understood that somebody could come in and take the whole space, and that area would have been taken away.
Yeah, but it will still be used for what's been promised.
I can see problems around.
Sorry, through your text, can I just ask what area is actually being marketed by the borough? Is it up to that point where they're dividing?
The marketing hasn't been finalised yet.
That's what I understood it to be, Jean. That space there, as you go in that door, that space, that side, and this, not this space, this side. And that's how I would want it to stay.
We will always...
When the brochure is ready, I'll make sure the town council gets a copy.
But the point is, if they build a wall, that is how it's defined, and then there's no going back on it. So the resident that is the tenant in that space has got that space. Whether you're cutting your nose off to spite your face, are you thinking a tenant that just doesn't have that little bit of space to the right is going to say, well, no. Well, so if they don't want it, they don't want it. Somebody else will. Provided you get, some tenants in, a tenant that wants to take it.
As we know, that area has always been used as, if you want to call it a cafe, for whoever's having the tabletop sales, and that's a revenue stream.
It's going to cause so many problems if you leave that open.
And that will be protected.
Not as its own space, no. Not as its own dedicated space.
Yeah.
How can it be, Mike? If it's a big open room,
just the same as it is at the moment.
Who's going to stop the tenant coming into that space if it's in the lease?
I'm privy to some information which is confidential, and I'm sorry, but somebody in this room can vouch for that.
Well, we don't doubt that. We don't doubt that. We're trying to protect what's there.
I'm trying to as well.
Good. Well, we'll remember those words, Councillor Cochran.
You can do, because they're on camera. Councillor often says.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
But we've had to push to get that out of it, to be fair.
Yeah, because of something confidential.
Well, that's fine, but, you know, what's... Just let us know in the first place so we know where we are. Could have saved 10 minutes.
Right, moving on. 16, Town Clerk's report. Again, for information only. You all have a copy. Gina?
Outstanding items log. Quite a bit to report on this one. I haven't heard about the quality, anything about the quality, but I think Councillor Walker's heard this afternoon that we will hear within 2 weeks.
Yeah, yes. Everybody that's putting will hear within 2 weeks of whether they've got it or not. There's one or two issues, and it's not all to do with this council. I mean, they won't tell you too much. It's a bit like Scarborough Borough Council, you can't get to know everything. And, you know, it's a bit like that. But I've pushed, and quite a few other councillors that was there have pushed as well. And that's what it's come out with.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Walker. Gina?
Yes, I've received an email from Mr Thompson to set up a meeting with a small working party to discuss the provision of toilets in Filey, to meet with himself and Mr Nick Edwards. So do members wish to go ahead with that? I think you had intimated that you would like to do. And which members would be willing to sit on this group? Would you want to committee? Would it be the property committee?
Well, I think if council do decide to take some of these toilets on, they will come under the proper footprint. I think I would suggest it goes to property committee members.
I take off the informal briefing session with Chris Quadrilla, because that's now taken place. We dealt with the Crescent Hill trial set. Councillor Cockle already informed you that the Filey Walls Memorial has received confirmation to the council as well. It's now being listed at grade 2, so it's really welcome. You could make the British Legion aware of that, Councillor Walker, please.
Yeah.
The grassed area, Scarborough Road, Ash Road, that the borough have come back and said that it's county, but county checking that, so I have to wait and see.
Just on that, there is a big white van on there at the moment, and there's one wheel off and half the brakes dismantled. We're actually maintaining vehicles on there, if that can be passed on to
So I can take the War Memorial off and the
16, Jackie.
community. Is there anything else on the actions log that you would like anything else to raise? I think more things have been dealt with earlier in the meeting.
The Filey Fisherman Information Panel, how you worded that seems to indicate that I gave permission. I merely passed on the permission from officers. I'd just like to clarify that.
Okay. Says permission received from Borough Council.
Yeah, I thought you made that in an email.
I sent you an email, but it was because you wanted to get it. It was to save time and get it to you, and I checked with the officers and they were quite happy for me to pass on their permission.
We have received the large proof. If anybody wants to see it in the office, it does look very good. So we're just waiting. It said 6 to 8 weeks for delivery, and perhaps if we can liaise with Councillor Cockrell on the when the borough officers to do the place and everything. So that's moving quite quickly. Is there anything else on the outstanding log? No. Right, then just to note the meeting dates in your diary. Everybody's been issued with the year-end statement. And meeting on the 18th of May are very welcome. If there are any queries on the account, can you please either feed it into the Finance Committee or to myself before I go on holiday on the 25th of May, please? The annual council meeting, I'd just like members to know, now that we are filming and recording meetings, that standing order number 3S does state in bold that unless standing orders provide otherwise, voting on a question shall be by show of hands. Therefore, at the annual council meeting, in the interest of openness and transparency, the members agree this method will be used instead of a ballot, as in previous years.
If it's in standing orders.
It is standing orders, yes.
And then we'll do Councillor Cockrell.
Well, that will be the first time and I totally object to it. I think most places that vote for the mayor, etc., it's always done as a secret ballot, and totally disagree.
It is in standing orders.
Yeah, but if we've ignored it, standing orders before, we can ignore it again.
Yeah, well, just that now we are filming in the interest of openness. It's up to the council, so I need to know what we want.
Well, I would move that the ballot for mayor and deputy mayor is done as a secret ballot.
I seem to remember, Councillor Cockrell, that you refused to ignore a standing order when the clerk asked permission from this council to move the date of full council meeting.
What sounds like a building?
Well, that's in standing orders also, and I believe you refused to alter that date.
Yes, I do, because it was
Because it was in standing orders.
Yeah.
So what's the difference now? Could you explain?
It's a different standing order. And this is how we've always done it in the past. We've ignored standing orders before, so we can do it again.
Well, I'd just like it on record if you do want to do that. I've pointed out that that is the correct decision.
I would like to record a vote on this as well.
Well, I have to say that in the many years that I've been a councillor, it's always been secret ballot. However, if it's in standing orders, it's in standing orders. I think it's up to us to alter the standing orders. As and when. No, not now. As and when we have the annual meeting, when we discuss standing orders, we change them.
But it's a bold standing order, and bold standing orders shouldn't be changed.
Why?
Because they're set by.
They're set by us.
They're set by us.
Set by us. We can do what we want.
Standing orders are set by now.
No. They're recommended by now. They're set by us.
Well, they are recommended by now.
Yeah.
You know.
And set by the town council.
Yeah. Well, we choose to accept their recommendations, so.
Not always.
No, not always, but I'm saying. Right, well, we have a...
Well, I was downstairs when this
No, you've not missed a thing, Councillor Case.
I just wonder why suddenly we're changing from a secret to an open just because of the recording. It's the result that's important, and how many votes for and against that's important. That should be done orally. It should remain secret.
Well, we have a proposal from Councillor Cockrell.
No, second that.
Members all in favour of remaining with a paper ballot for the election of Mayor and Deputy Mayor, and ignoring standing orders?
Yes. Count, please. Is this going to be recorded?
Yes, I have to.
It needs to be recorded. So can we just keep your hands up while we record it?
Can I just say I'm abstaining, Mr. Chairman, because I feel I've got to comply with standing orders, but I would like the standing orders to be revised.
Could I take advice on that from YMCA and
Against?
Abstain.
John's abstain. You're against or abstaining? Abstaining. Right, okay. All members feel that they want to go against the standing order? and carry on with the paper ballot.
Right, that's fine.
Right. Gina?
Okay, yes, Maureen will start the meeting on the 8th of June as previously agreed. The fly past on the 25th of June, I've now got the time confirmed as being 15:50. They're actually flying back from Scarborough, they're leaving Scarborough at 15:30. So it will be...
Won't take them that long.
Well, that's the timing that I've been given.
Might be going all over the
If you're there at 15:30,
Tell them to come by buses for Christmas.
and it is the same
The
as
reverse.
the hurricane bit side.
Right, thank you.
So the next step is sorry.
3:30, and then they come into Filey at 4:10. That is from squadron leader Tim Benson.
Time gets here quicker.
Right. I think what it means, it might be in Scarborough for a display of the so they might be in Scarborough for 10 years. Yeah.
What a dream.
Right, thank you, Gina.
Right, we've got the mayoral engagement, first of all,
Excuse me, I attended the Queen's birthday meeting as well. I attended the birthday meeting as well.
I'm sorry, Councillor, you did, yes, I'm sorry. I do apologise.
He attended that as well.
Not having a very good night.
It's someone like you, Councillor, right, not to be recognised at an event. Or no,
Yes, she was.
Because it was very, very cold.
But it did go up quite well.
It did go up very well. There were some councillors came to speak.
And you've got the White Rose update, with articles on the annual meeting, internal audit, submission of the annual which is just for information. Members have all been supplied with the schedule of meetings, so you could note those days in the diary. The office will be shut on the Monday the 30th of May. So that concludes my report, Chairman.
Thank you, Gina. I'd just like to go back to the annual meeting, Gina. You've all received the agenda this evening. In that pack is a form for committees, working parties and outside groups. I would honestly like to see the workload of the county spread out between all members. So please don't be shy. Get your names on these committees, working parties and outside groups. Thank you. Any further questions for Gina? Thank you for that report, Gina. Agenda item 17, exclusion of press and public. In pursuance of section 1, brackets 2 of the Public Bodies Admission to Minutes Act 1960, to consider excluding the press and public for the following item because of the confidential nature of the business to be transacted.